This could be the game of the week, game of the year maybe. It's the Buffalo Bills against the Baltimore Ravens. The Bills coming off a dominant win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, I believe on Monday Night Football, 47-10, while the Ravens nearly choked a 22-point lead against the Dallas Cowboys in Week 3, but were able to hold on to the lead and win 28-25. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry leading the way, while James Cook and Josh Allen were maestros against the Jaguars. I want to know, though, the Ravens look a little bit better after especially establishing that run game against the Dallas Cowboys, while the Bills have stayed consistently dominant throughout the entire season. So I want to know, do you think the Ravens will slow down the Buffalo Bills so much so that the Ravens could take over this game and win, or do the Bills move to 4-0?
Well, I look at this game and say it's the battle of the top-ranked quarterbacks. You got Josh Allen, who's ranked number 1. Bills are 3-0. He hasn't thrown an interception. He's actually throwing fewer passes, which I think is a good thing. I think that the balanced game there with the run and the pass is helping him and helping the team. Jackson, ranked number 3, 70% completion rate in Week 3. Only needed 12 completions for 182 yards and a TD. Had 87 yards on the ground rushing and another TD. Helped a lot by Derrick Henry, again, that running game. He had 151 yards last week. That helps out Lamar Jackson a lot. You look at the offenses of these two teams, the points per game, Buffalo's number 1 with 37.3. The Ravens number 11, 23.7. But interestingly, total yards, Buffalo number 13 at 329, and the Ravens number 1, 430 yards a game. The yards per play, 6.1 for the Buffalo, 6.6 for the Ravens. That's Bills number 4, Ravens number 1. Third down efficiency, 41% for Buffalo, that's number 9. 41% for Ravens, that's number 10. And TDs per game, Buffalo 4.7, and the Ravens, that's number 1, and the Ravens 2.7, that's number 6. So it looks like the Buffalo has a little bit stronger offense here. But the Ravens, in my mind, in the first 3 quarters of every game, they look like the Super Bowl contenders. They look like world beaters. Their problem is the terrible fourth quarters that they have. Can they stop Buffalo in the fourth quarter? That's going to be key. Buffalo near perfect against the Jaguars. Allen leading MVP candidate. Baltimore 20-3 in primetime games. That's big. Allen has the highest passer rating right now in the league at 133.7. Can the Ravens run wild like they did against Dallas? The Bills use 5 defensive backs, but surrender only 3.4 yards per carry. I don't think that defense will work against the Ravens with Derrick Henry, the battering ram back there, and Lamar Jackson, who can run at any moment. I think they're going to have to switch that up, and I think that's a weakness for the Bills. The Bills' starting linebackers, 2 of them, Bernard and Milano, are both out of this game. That's going to hurt. Will Baltimore solve the fourth quarter woes? They've been outscored 35-7 in the last 2 games. They lead the league in penalties. That's a problem, and they get a lot of penalties in the fourth quarter. Allen has 13 fourth quarter comebacks in his career. This one's kind of a toss-up. I have a very hard time picking this one. I think Baltimore being at home is a factor here, and a mile plus that may get the Ravens over the top.
So you're going Ravens here.
Yeah.
I'm on the other side of this. I'm fully buying into the Bills. I understand through the first month of the season, it's always the Bills are looking like Super Bowl contenders. And then as you go throughout the year, Josh Allen makes some mistakes. It doesn't look that great. They go on a little bit of a dry spell. We're questioning whether or not, they can make it far. Then the playoffs come, and then they always fall apart to the Kansas City Chiefs. But I think that this Bills team is completely different. Josh Allen looks different. The offense looks different. The defense is playing well, even with Matt Milano out. I mean, there's some big-time injuries that they're dealing with so far that it doesn't really matter because everybody's stepping up and doing their job. But when it comes to the offense, that's the major key here because we went to the season looking at all the losses that they had and like, okay, well, they lost their top 2 receivers, a bunch of offensive linemen. On defense, they lost defensive linemen and linebackers. They lost their safeties. They lost cornerbacks. They lost a bunch of pieces. Oh, no, they're going to be losing record 9-8. At least that's what the original prediction was. And then we look at them now and it's like, okay, their defense is really good. Their defense is stopping offenses. While the offense, it can't be stopped. They have 37 points a game. What? with guys who are just Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, I'm forgetting. There's several other low-name receivers. MVS is one of them. But then we take a look at what the offensive scheme is, and it's James Cook at like 54% run rate. They're not passing it as much. It's less Josh Allen reliant. And what we've seen over Josh Allen's career is very high touchdowns, but also very high turnovers. Like I've been saying, the modern-day Brett Favre, just with a little bit less turnovers. But what the good side of now the Joe Brady offense is that you're keeping the ball out of Josh Allen's hands, putting it into James Cook's hands, and then only using the Superman Josh Allen when it needs to be shown, a.k.a. week 1 against the Cardinals when you're down 17-3, and you threw it, I think, 2 times with 2 minutes left in the first half. Then Josh Allen becomes Superman. You eventually come back. Your defense holds up against Kyler Murray on a late game, potential game-winning drive, and you end up winning week 1. So I think what the Bills have done so far has been great. My only concern is that the way that the Ravens play, where they throw it over the field much more than teams, a lot of teams like to throw it towards the end zone and throw it towards the side. The Bills capitalize on those types of throws. They don't do very well over the middle throws, dinking and dunking. The Ravens, actually, they're the biggest dink and dunk team so far this season. But I think when it comes down to it, who's the better quarterback? And right now it has to be, and I don't think it's very arguable to say that at this current moment that Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL. It's not Mahomes. Mahomes is not playing that well this year so far. And I think when it comes down to it, the better quarterback is the guy who will get it done when it matters the most. Lamar Jackson, unbelievable runner. Absolutely unbelievable runner. Josh Allen, also an incredible runner. But I think what it really amounts to is the amount of respect that each quarterback has for each other. And I think Josh Allen is much more vocal about it. But yeah, let's take a listen to what Josh Allen had to say about facing Lamar Jackson, because I do think it's very telling to know just how far Lamar Jackson came from where he is at now, and how much a lot of these quarterbacks and how many of these teams actually fear Lamar Jackson, even though his talent has never really been up to par amongst the other top teams. But yeah, let's take a listen to Josh Allen and what he had to say about Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's an inspiration to a lot of people in this country. The way that he plays the game, the doubters that he had coming out and asking to switch positions early on, and then for him to show the resiliency and the work ethic and the attitude to go forward and win 2 MVPs. Guys around the league, they see that. He's really changed the way that I think guys play the game. But make no mistake about it, he can throw the snot out of the football, and got a lot of respect for him, a lot of love for him. Love watching him play because every play is never dead with him. You know, he's got a crazy ability to keep plays alive and make guys miss and then get the ball downfield. So yeah, he's a special player.
I think that's 100% true. He's an incredibly special player. But I think the key to victory, the Ravens have the worst pass defense in the NFL. Even though they have some very, very talented defensive backs, they are the worst pass defense in the National Football League. So Josh Allen needs to get away from the run. I think Joe Brady's going to incorporate more passing plays and then use Josh Allen to scramble when the Ravens get the threat of the pass, and then take advantage of that when it comes down to it. But establishing the run, the Ravens are kind of they're actually the number 1 rush defense in the entire NFL, which that makes sense because teams could just throw the ball against them anyway.
Mm-hmm. So you're not worried about the Bills' injuries on defense, particularly the 2 linebackers being out?
Well, what's it called? Bernard's been out, I think, for the last week or so. So I'm not insanely worried about that. They got a cornerback back this week. Let's see if I can. Khair Elam. I probably pronounced that wrong, but I think I'm not worried at all. This defense seems like it's a next man up type defense, because we were worried about Trey White being gone and Jordan Poyer being gone. We were worried about a bunch of these guys, Leonard Floyd being gone. Matt Milano got hurt before the year, and we're like, oh no, the Bills, they're dropping like flies. These guys are leaving. These guys are, going to different teams. What are they going to do? And the Bills have just established a next man up. And I think it helps a big time, and it might not work in this game, where it comes down to time of possession. Now, the Bills, for some reason, their rushing attack just has worked so beautifully that just kill the clock hasn't really worked, because they're able to get the ball downfield so effortlessly that they score basically instantly anyway. So I think this time it'll be a more time of possession-based game. Bills to take advantage of that. I actually have a decently low-scoring game. I don't know if 24-21 is considered low-scoring to you, but that's what I think it's going to be. It's going to be one of the Chiefs-Chargers or Chiefs-Bengals, Chiefs-Buffalo games. Very, very close. Comes down to a late mistake or a game-winning drive. I got the Bills here. I just think Josh Allen will get it done when it matters the most.
I think the Ravens are going to win because I think they're going to run it down the Bills' throats. I think the defensive scheme of the Bills with 5 defensive backs and 2 linebackers, starting linebackers out, is going to open the door for Derrick Henry. He's going to pound the ball. They're going to have control the ball. They're going to keep Josh Allen off the field with ball control and long drives with lots of running and a little bit of passing. And when Henry can't get it done, Lamar is going to take his place. So I think it's going to be a wake-up call for the Bills on defense. I do think it's going to be very close, and I don't think it's going to be very high scoring. But I think that, as I said, it's very close, and it's hard to pick. I think being at home for the Ravens is going to help them, and I think they get over the top there and cover the 1.5 point spread.
Well, there it goes. Buffalo, Ravens, it's going to be a hell of a game. Sunday Night Football. That's what the NFL needs. The really good matchups when they're in prime time, the perfect time to watch. These Thursday games, sometimes even the Monday games.
They've been pretty good, the Thursday games, except the Patriots-Jets was a lousy game.
Yeah, I'm not. I think they were hoping that Drake May would be the start at that point and have that storyline.
The Giants, Dallas was a pretty good game.
You thought that was a good game? It was a defensive game.
Yeah, but it was okay.
This week,
it was close.
This week we have a couple duds. Monday night is Tennessee-Miami. That's not a great game. But Will Levis against either Skylar Thompson, Tyler Huntley, or Tim Boyle. And then Seattle-Detroit, I think that actually might be a pretty decent game.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of these primetime games, Amazon, they're getting some of the worst games possible. There's so many just bad Thursday games. So the NFL having Sunday Night Football be some of the top teams in the NFL, the Ravens with Lamar Jackson and the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen, should be a hell of a game to watch. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.